HollyDudes. HollyDudes. HollyDudes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the HollyDudes podcast. My name is Tim.
I'm Steve.
And today we're going to share with you everything about this week's entertainment.
Which isn't really a lot.
Not
But
much entertainment.
You know what? We'll fucking make an hour out of it. I know we can do it. I believe in us. It's episode 10, Tim. How you feel?
I feel great. You know, I feel 10 episodes older than where we were when we started. And, you know, we have tons of experience now.
Dude,
So,
man, it has come a long way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not the podcast, but everything else is coming along. But, So let's get into it. I want to do a slight change to the podcast, to the way we're doing box office, because I don't know how you guys really feel about this, but I felt like maybe the way we were doing the previous 9 box office results, where we were talking about the previous weekend that is now, 7 days ago, was semi-redundant in the age of the internet. If people are interested enough to be listening to a film entertainment podcast,
you
already know. So we're going to jump into just last week as a whole. So that would basically lead into the Thursday prior, and how all that went, and then talk a little bit about this weekend's projections, and maybe be a bit more current about it.
Yeah.
Right. So starting off, week 19 of the box office, Thunderbolts once again number 1. Fantastic. I love it. That's awesome. Just good to. I feel so. The number isn't that big, right?
Yeah.
Total gross domestic 138 and some change.
Yep.
Million. But man, I just the tone of the response to the movie, right? General audiences seem to really like this. Everybody's like, yeah,
it's all positive.
Feels like Marvel's back, and that, I don't know, it's so soon to call it like a nostalgia or something, but it does harken back to maybe just a better moment,
Yeah.
Like,
it's been a while since we've had something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
As far as the MCU goes. So yeah, this is a positive step.
Yep. I'm mildly nervous for Fantastic Four. I slipped my mind when I was looking at all these things that are coming out and stuff, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Fantastic Four has to go up against Superman.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will. Looks like something. I'm excited to see it. And I'm not a DC fan. I don't even like Superman. I think he's like the male Mary Sue, right? So not a huge fan
it's
of
basically mine. Goku.
He is, the male Rey Skywalker.
Yeah.
At least Goku has to die several times. He literally dies several times. I mean, and it's good for him.
Yeah.
It's like dying is like going to like the cryo chamber for athletes. He just comes back better and stronger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That Fantastic Four movie better be like kick
fantastic.
Ass. It better be fantastic. Exactly, because there is still like the only reason I feel like this number is not bigger.
Yeah. Is
because of Marvel fatigue, right?
Right.
We've had a bunch of crap thrown at us over the past couple of years. People are kind of sick of that. So, and with how expensive it is to go to the theater, are you going to go to this Marvel movie that, if it's like the last several, yikes,
So they used to be safe where you could guarantee that they would pretty much all be entertaining.
Yeah.
Now it's a little more risky. You're not guaranteed an entertaining day at the theater. So... yeah,
that is very true.
A lot of people not willing to take that chance financially. So, yeah.
I'll take that hit. Oh, man. But, I mean, it's a gamble going to the theater anyway, because who knows in the age of 2025. I mean, I say that.
We know.
If we rewind a year, if it was 2024 we were doing this, I would be like, oh, man, movies are rough, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason I didn't go to the theater every weekend last year. Sorry. Yeah. But, now, this year's been mostly pleasantly surprising.
Yeah.
With the exception of my theater experiences this weekend.
Yeah.
It's been mostly pretty good. And next weekend looks like an absolute, I'm so excited. I'm going to be like, Oh man, all week. I can't wait.
For the last rodeo.
The last rodeo, dude. I'm gonna win that. F-150,
You're gonna win that F-150
I'm gonna
Raptor
win that
and
F-150.
a ton of other prizes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
a Yeti cooler full of guns.
Anytime I have to be bribed to get my ass into a movie theater, I'm gonna take it. I have no morals. I have no ethical code telling me no. So yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Last rodeo. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Cowboy boots on.
Yeah. So before this train got horribly derailed and we started talking about other crap, Thunderbolts made $43.5 million at box office. Sinners still holding on strong at number 2 at another 32 million. So that brings a domestic total of 225 and some change, which is
going to keep on going.
Well, supposedly, I think it was like 1% of the ticket sales go to Mr. Kugler.
Yeah.
So that would be I can't do math worth a damn, but
at least $20.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He could buy himself a dinner with that.
Yep, that's 1% of that's what, like
wait, how much is it total?
That's a lot of money.
225.
Yeah.
So he made like
a lot.
2,250.
Divide that by 100. 200. I don't know. It's a lot. No, it's like two. No, it's two and a quarter million. Yeah, we can't do math. Yeah, if it's 1% of 100, right? And you made if it's 225 million. Wow, this makes some great content. Watching two idiots try to do math. Yeah, you know what?
I'm solving for Hodge conjecture, by the way, and I can't do math like this. This is insane.
I do have a calculator on here.
Yeah.
So let's see, 225,370,547 times
0.01
is 2.25 million. Yeah.
Wow.
So good for him. Hell yeah, 2.25 million. That's good stuff. That's a nice payday. I'm sure that made for excellent podcast content.
This is what you came for, right?
If you're listening, that was just two idiots struggling through basic computation.
Yeah.
So, we're smart. Awesome. Minecraft movie, number 3. Another just under 10 million, 9.7.
Chicken jockeying its way to $1 billion.
So, the rest of this hardly matters, right? Clown in the Cornfield was number 5 and made just under 5 million.
Won the weekend.
Good job.
For them. Yeah.
And Fight or Flight made 2.7. What I really want to talk about is the fact that, dude, it's getting back to normal almost at the theater. the top 3 movies are just like blockbuster, tentpole, entertaining sort of stuff. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's coming back. It's not just a random assortment of crap. It's 3 movies, 2 of which have been in the theater for like a hot minute.
Right.
Right. Thunderbolt's on its 2nd week, and they're all just doing good, making a bunch of money. Thank God. Oh man, it's all coming together. I love it.
We're gonna be okay.
Yes, we're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay in the world. My leg doesn't work, but who gives a shit? There's good movies out. There's gonna be more coming. It's great. It's great. So last week.
Good job.
Right on, Hollywood. Yeah, excellent. Good job making money. Let's jump into some numbers coming in for this weekend. So we saw Final Destination Bloodlines and Hurry Up Tomorrow and apparently something else, but we'll get to that. Final Destination Bloodlines tearing it up this weekend with projected $51 million so far. This is recorded on a Sunday morning. So that's the weekend's not over yet, right?
There's a lot of screenings left.
So they're calling this is all per Box Office Mojo as usual. If you've seen our other episodes, they're calling 51 million domestic so far and 51 million overseas as well. So that's 102 million on a Final Destination.
I don't think anyone saw this coming.
There's a lot of round of applause happening in this episode, man. So. God, and as much as I don't like these movies because that's just not my cup of tea. I understand people like them, and I'm not trying to hate on it, right? I didn't really try to hate on it too bad in my review, although I did a little.
You let loose a little,
bit. It's still crap CGI gore, but whatever.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
It's not going to win any Oscars, So, but people like these movies, and they are a long-running franchise,
Yes.
a thing that just people would just go out to enjoy, and top in the box office, followed by Thunderbolts and Sinners and Minecraft, and yes, oh, it's getting better, getting better, and then next week you're gonna add 2 more like tentpole recognizable films that are gonna make a bunch of money. The box office is coming back. Movies are coming back, man. Fuck a bunch of tariffs. I don't even care, man. The movies are coming back. And then hurry up tomorrow with 3.3 million because that's a waste of everybody's time, and I hope it just disappears forever and just wiped off the face of the earth. God, what a horrible piece
of all it's gonna make.
Waste of my time.
It's gonna make that 3.3 and maybe another million next week. And
thanks, Abel.
Bye.
You're the man. Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, box office. It's all coming together. Yeah. Things are getting better. It does my heart some good.
He's excited.
I am so excited. I'm so like a kid in a candy store, man. Yeah. I love movies. I love all this stuff. I'm not really one of those people that like, and I know it's really fashionable to like hate on the uber rich and the all that sort of stuff. And I make jokes, like I've said, everybody's a target, right? But yeah, dude, like that's a sign of prosperity in an industry that I care about, and it just, man, really does make me happy. Yeah,
especially when they're all good movies at the top 5, at least. So
yeah, literally a hard stop at 5.
Hard stop at 5. You could go down to 7. I mean, 7.
I haven't gotten to see it yet, but yeah,
well, it's not
number 7
in wide release yet.
I actually did want to mention this. So the number 7 for this weekend that we're talking about is Friendship, which opened to just a slightly wider,
very narrow
of theaters, right? However, I did see an article. I believe it was the Hollywood Reporter, and if I can find it, I'll link it in the description. That was saying that this thing is making like a little over $250,000 per theater. It was like $23,333 per theater.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
That's
which is good. Yeah, great for something like this. Yeah, dude. So like once this wide releases, I think it's gonna maybe do fine for what it is.
So the wide release, I believe, is coming up this following weekend.
Yes,
if not the next one. So yeah, we have a lot of good releases coming out. So I was gonna try to see Friendship last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I did not see that it was limited release starting on the 12th.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't like live in LA.
I work on the 12th. Yeah.
I live in bumfuck nowhere, so
I'm no red carpets out here.
I can't drive 2 hours to go see that thing. Unfortunately, I got a
full-time
job.
They lay out linoleum tile for the premieres here.
Wow. That's fantastic. Yeah, great. Man, movies are back. Movies are back. Then next week, something will be horrible, and I'll say movies are dead, and the world will carry on.
We'll see about that.
We
will see.
Oh, man. So, I think we should move on to the next segment.
Let's get into Final Destination.
Let's do it. All right. So, next segment, Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yes.
Okay. So, Tim, I'm going to let you do the majority of the talking about this one. So, I didn't mention this in my Just the Tip because those are short reviews and it's kind of beside the point. But I didn't get to see this entire movie.
You did not?
No. So, if you've been watching this podcast, you know I have like the most fantastical luck and experiences at movie theaters.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, right? I just find a way. I even have a little thing that happened to me at Hurry Up Tomorrow that I didn't tell you about, but I'll talk about that with that movie. Yeah. So, and I didn't see that one at the same theater either.
No.
So this one, so we start watching Final Destination Bloodlines, and we get, maybe like an hour-ish into this movie. And, I'm not having a great time because these are not my kind of movies.
Yeah.
So you can kind of say this, I was saved by bad luck. But, so there was an issue with one of the speakers in the, theater viewing room that we were in. And one of my fellow audience members really was unhappy about that. And while it wasn't ruining the audio experience for the rest of us, he had to go, get a manager and all that sort of stuff. So, about an hour into this movie, they come in and they're like, okay, guys, we're just going to start this movie over in theater 5, and we'll skip the ads for you, but we'll just start it over from the beginning. Fucking hour into this movie, man. Oh my god. Okay, so I go out.
So they stopped the showing.
So they
where
stopped
you
the
are
showing
at, in your
this
screening,
theater, right? And I know these folks, so I'm like, I talk to them for a little bit while the other movie's going, because again, I've seen all this crap. Go smoke a cigarette. Make a couple of phone calls, and I come back, and okay, great. I've killed about 15 minutes. So I watch another 45 minutes of this movie, and at this point, I was at the theater for over 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, you know what, man? Like, I see what this is.
Yeah.
I get it, and I've seen the other ones. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
So there's that. I didn't see the entire film, but still made a video about it. But it's fine. I get the gist. But yeah. So then I left because I did not have another hour to sit here and finish this movie. It was like, I'm sorry, I have a schedule. So I didn't see that one, and honestly, not a terrible thing for me. I'm okay. I'm okay. It was fine. I don't, it was fine for what it is, for being a Final Destination movie and a gore piece, but that's not my cup of tea. So I'm gonna let Tim tell you guys how this movie was.
Yeah,
and I'll chime in every once in a while.
So I was thoroughly entertained. Steve, in my opinion, you saw the best part of the movie, which is the opening scene, which opening scene takes about 20 whole minutes.
The opening scene was kind of cool. I
you didn't like it,
right? No, because it's just not for me.
Especially when Shout's playing and everyone's dying. Come on.
I can't, man, because it's CGI gore and it's terrible acting.
Yeah, so
it's terrible acting. I can't do it. Like, I can't.
The acting I can forgive. The CGI I cannot. It was excessive, sort of jarring. Took me away. There were so many cool deaths in this. It's a Final Destination, so you're gonna have all sorts of wacky character deaths. Straight out of Mortal Kombat, but. This one, the CGI was
literally like Mortal Kombat fatalities, and I was like watching this. Sure, there's a death once we get into the spoiler section that because I do want to do the full shebang on this bad boy. That literally, like, Tim, I don't know how much Mortal Kombat you've played, but I've seen this fatality. I've enacted this in Mortal Kombat before. So that was a movie of all time.
It was probably not the best horror movie out right now. I would say Sinners still takes the cake for if you're going to see a movie where you want to get
good movie,
entertained, and also a little spooked. Sinners. If not, Clown in a Cornfield. Final Destination is more of a I don't know what sort of entertainment. This is just a gory entertainment. But unfortunately, the gore was a bit overshadowed by the copious amount of shoddy CGI. So
that same exact death that I'm thinking of for the fatality is exactly what I picture, because it's like there's a person and then it's like an overlay of CGI, and I'm like, wait a minute, like this is just as jarring as when I click and put a overlay from Canva into a video. I'm talking about Final Destination, and it pops up next to me. It was literally that, but a CGI gore, and I was like, oh, this is not good.
So there's one part in the opening scene, this isn't a spoiler,
it was in the trailer.
So the character gets her she's wearing a very tight engagement ring. That happens to get
that
just
part
ripped
literally like
right off.
I had to close my eye for both of those because I knew it was
close
coming,
my eye because
and I was
just
knew, like, nah, I know this is coming.
So
I CGI or not, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. So degloving is like the most terrifying thing you could do, but the CGI just sort of put a whole Band-Aid on it. Just I know that's not real, so
no, none of that's for me.
Too squeamish for it.
No, like, and I was trying to explain this at work too. That like, okay, so it's not only the gore. It can't only be the gore because I mean, you know me. I love like dark psychological horror type stuff. Like it's not the gore that's the problem. It's the context.
Okay.
Like when I watch something like a house that Jack built. There's a context in which this is happening that like plays into what you're seeing. Whereas this, like the context is that like, ta-da, that lady's face exploded. Like nah, this is not. This ain't for me. This is not a compelling enough story for me to like accept this. Not for me. No. But hey, to each their own. I know a lot of people enjoy this. I know that they do, and I'm not trying to hate on what you enjoy. It's just does not tickle my fancy. It's not for me.
Well, being number 6 in the franchise, this one doesn't really do too much new. Sure, you get new inventive ways of dying, but as far as the plot goes, it's pretty much the same as the rest of the movies. Person has a premonition, although in this case, it's a dream from her grandma when her grandma had a premonition. So the best part of the movie was the opening scene. Everything else after that, I didn't really care about the characters at all. I sort of wanted most of them to die, even in the opening scene. That little snot-nosed kid.
Oh my God, that
JB.
Oh,
fuck that kid, dude.
Fuck that kid. Dude.
Fuck that kid. Such a little brat.
Yeah. Oh man, let me know when we want to get into spoilers because I am so.
Let's go ahead and get into it. I mean, everyone already knows what this is going to be. So
your overall thoughts on the film?
Entertaining. I was entertained.
Tim was entertained.
It was.
Are you not entertained?
It was obviously not perfect. Not a movie that I feel like is going to win any awards, but damn if I didn't find myself having fun in that theater. So,
that's all that counts. That's all that counts. That's all I'm trying to say too. I wasn't entertained, but if you were, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sorry that your theater going experiences keep being interrupted by death.
Dude. My theater experiences are wild, man.
How many screenings in the last 2 months have you had that have just been canceled or
fucked up in some? My God. I don't know. We should do a count. I'll have to like re-listen to the podcast episodes to remember it all because that's way more for me.
I've had like 2. Which going to the movies as often
years, though, you and I have had these
so
ridiculous experiences.
So many. It's almost always for smaller release.
Oh yeah.
But we've had a lot of. Well, most of them have come from movies that you were there. So
I think I'm a bad luck charm.
Yeah.
Man.
Movie theater death is coming for you, Steve.
I guess, man. Dude. Like, I can't go to movie theaters. I can't go to shows because you know what happened at that one show I went to in So that I don't know if I can disclose that on the podcast because that was
legally we cannot.
Probably not. Yeah. No, but it didn't involve me. But like it was definitely a sad experience for someone
there.
Yeah, absolutely. But dude, I can't go anywhere, man. Like I can't go anywhere.
You know what you should do, Steve?
Oh.
You should lock yourself in the most dangerous cabin in the world.
Yeah?
Yeah. Surrounded by barbed wire and everything that could possibly kill you. So in Final Destination 2, they reveal that Clear from the first one has checked herself into an asylum. She's in a super padded room. Nothing can kill her.
Yep.
So
that's a smart person.
Yeah. You know who's not smart? Iris.
Yeah.
Iris is a protagonist.
We're going to get into the spoilers of this thing.
Yeah, we're running out of time, huh?
Yeah.
So Final Destination Bloodlines opens in the late 1960s at the opening ceremony for the Skyview restaurant. We meet Iris and her boyfriend at the time, soon to be fiance, as they manage to sneak in and join the high rollers up there. There's some fancy people. This is like a Gatsby party up there. So
at what is essentially the Sky Needle, but you can't call it the Sky Needle.
Can't call it the Sky Needle.
If you're gonna blow it up, you can't call it the Sky Needle.
So this place seems like it was designed to fail. Essentially, the elevator guy makes this statement. Oh yeah, we opened 5 months early. We did it. It's like, yeah,
great. That's not foreshadowing. That's one thing about this movie is that like everything is like
foreshadowed
foreshadowed down the line. You know, like, there's not that much for like necessarily a jump scare because
you see it coming.
It's all coming. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. That being said, everyone there is having a good time. A bottle of champagne. The cork pops out and knocks a shard off of the chandelier, which then cracks the dance floor. JB, the boy that we were talking about, the little snot-nosed brat.
Fuck that kid, man.
Yeah. So he sets this whole thing in motion by stealing a penny from a wishing well. Yep. The mom tells him, hey, don't you know it's bad luck? You need to put that back. JB's a little brat, dude.
JB sucks.
Yeah. So
it reminds me of that little shit in the second Deadpool movie.
Yeah. Just a punk.
Yeah.
Just a punk.
Little bastard.
So he's out there playing with everyone's fortune, and of course death comes for them all. So yeah, one by one they all start dying these terrible deaths.
Like the floor collapses, and that's like the first big chunk of people, right? You know,
immediately knocks out like 20, 30 people.
There's like a gas leak that starts a fire.
Lady on fire just runs around spreading the fire.
Yeah. You get, the building falls apart, and eventually, the main girl, Iris, she gets like skewered in the face. Before that, a fantastic little shithead gets his demise. That was the thing I really appreciated about
the piano
movie, is they had the courage to smash that little bastard.
Yeah.
Dude. Like,
that's what everyone was waiting for.
Yes.
From the moment you see him, you're like, kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him. Kill him now.
The little kid, makes his way out of the building, and he's like, oh, he's going to be free. And then a falling piano just crushes him.
Yeah.
Splat like
Hilarious.
a bug. Oh, man. Yeah, it made my day. Absolutely.
The fiance, forget his name, but the fiance is sort of trying to hold on to the glass and sliding down and just getting his hands ripped apart by this glass.
Yeah.
Terrible death.
Yep.
But,
and then he thunks his head on the way down. Yeah. Just, oh, man.
I mean, at least he would have been unconscious.
Yeah.
The whole time. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Whatever. They sucked anyway. They all sucked.
Yeah.
It was like B theater actors anyway. It's fine.
The performances are pretty shoddy.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Pretty shoddy. So, after getting this premonition, Iris immediately takes control and runs over and gets everyone the hell out of there.
Yeah, she does the Devon Sawa thing from the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the plane's gonna grow.
People,
down.
we can't
do this.
Yeah, get out of here. Go home.
Yeah.
And saves a bunch of lives. So. Building was way over capacity anyway, so those who were still there, good for them. Got a little more elbow room now at the table. So cut forward about 60 years, we meet Iris's granddaughter. Stephanie is a struggling college student, not getting any sleep because she keeps having these nightmares that bring her back to the night of
an Oscar-worthy performance by that one too. Man,
not very strong.
How did you feel about her frantic plea to her family to listen to her?
You know what it reminded me of was Gal Gadot. Dude, when she's pleading with Superman and she goes, Kal-El, no.
Yeah, literally. It was so bad. It was so bad.
If you think your life is in danger as well as the lives of your entire family, and you're just like, guess I'll go talk to my aunt now. What?
This was not smart characters. These were
it's a horror movie. You're not going to get smart characters.
And here's my book of nonsense and drawings, and this will all. I promise this will all illuminate it for you.
Because whatever page was turned to, that's what they needed to open. Maybe
the power of
cinematic. I don't know. Yeah. Here's the entire life history of everyone who is on there, as well as any possible way in which they could die.
How did you feel? I think I already know, based on what you hinted at earlier, about the grandmother's plans for a death-proof location.
She picked the worst possible location to be death-proof, dude. Everything can kill you there. Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Every single edge is razor sharp.
Yeah.
There's like
barbed wire on the
barbed
gates.
wire, spears sticking out of the ground. Like, what are you doing,
You're trying to escape death. And you know what's funny? She's like, oh yeah, I got cancer, but that's probably just death trying to get to me.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, lady, no, you're living in some
Completely
rundown
lost your
shack. But breathing in asbestos for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how she ended up having kids.
I don't know how that
Two
worked.
of them.
Yeah.
Two. Yeah.
No. And then, so, okay. So then this is what I wanted to get to in the spoiler section, because this was the last actual death that I got to see. I really only got to see the beginning, and then this old woman's face exploding.
Old lady Iris. Yeah.
So, okay. So Stephanie is, she's got to go see her aunt or whatever, Iris or grandma or whatever. Grandma. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. She's got to go see her grandma, and, meets her, and obviously she's a crazy old lady living in like the danger house, and she's crazy. So Stephanie's like, oh, fuck all that, I'm gonna leave, and so crazy grandma steps out the door, and the wind howls, and it's like, oh, death's here, and steps out her door, and Rube Goldberg death machine activates, and
through the back of the head.
Yeah, so she gets like, what is it, like a shingle from
wind
her
veil or whatever?
Oh yeah, a piece of a wind veil. So like, I don't know, all this crap happens, and somehow a piece of wind veil like shoots through the back of her head and out the front of her face while she's talking to her granddaughter. But this is what I'm talking about the CGI like paste over, right?
Yeah.
Like you're looking at this lady's face, and it's supposed to be like, oh, her face explodes.
Yeah.
Like she's supposed to, this thing's supposed to be like coming out of the front of her face. But what it looks like is like somebody was in editing this in Canva or Clipchamp and said, click.
Put a blood element on top.
Blood element effect right over her face at that moment.
Yeah.
It was just like plat. And it's
like what we did for the Just a Tip for Fight or Flight.
Fight or Flight, where I pierced you through the head with a crutch.
This was the same level of performance, same level of
This was
visual effects. This was pretty rough.
Yeah. So I watched that, and then I watched up until like the beginning of the like lawn party.
Okay.
Scene,
So
that's where
fun.
like, okay, Tim, tell me how each of these fucking idiots gets killed, because I can't wait to hear about
There's so many ways. So, what, like any Final Destination kill scene before it, it's going to leave a bunch of red herrings. You're going to have kids jumping on a trampoline with a rake directly beneath it, and
that was where I was like, okay, you know what, man? Like I see where all of this is going.
Yeah.
I'm going home. I'm gonna go get some food and go home.
Nobody notices a glass falling into the ice, and so when the drink gets knocked over, the uncle steps on the ice. The uncle's pretty funny in this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He said the piece of broken glass with ice. Yeah.
So he steps on the piece of broken glass, falls down. Lawnmower gets activated by an inflatable hose, and then it sort of runs his face over. So
excellent.
Yeah, pretty gruesome family outing.
I would say so.
Yeah. So this is what sort of leads the mother to believe, okay, yeah, maybe my mom was right, and we are all cursed. So yeah, they go on a trip. They're deciding that they're gonna hold up back in the murder cabin.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Why would you go back to the murder cabin?
I don't. These people are idiots.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's also a scene, tattoo guy. They've played this before a couple showings, but I don't know if you guys are avid moviegoers. You may not have seen it, but before a few of my showings, at least for horror movies,
it was like
they've
preview.
had a
I think I saw
preview.
this
It's a
one.
full clip where the guy is being swung by a chain that's hooked up to a septum piercing in the tattoo shop as there's a fire going on, and turns out he's just a stepbrother. He's not blood related. His mom, just accidentally had another man's baby. happens, I guess.
Yes, it happens.
So yeah, he gets spared by Death because of this. I don't know why Death was fucking with him to the point of that, but I mean, you feel like he would be aware. He's been tracking down for 60 years. He's been going person by person, just killing off their entire bloodline. That's
so Death may or may not be incompetent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Or he just really didn't like this guy, and you know what? For good reason. The guy's a dick. He plans to kill his stepbrother or half brother. Tries to kill his half brother through peanut allergy. Next to an MRI machine. Well, dude, you're full of piercings. So he gets pulled apart. Piercings pulled from his ears, from his nose, from his nips, all the way to his dick. He gets pulled dick first into an MRI machine and then pierced with a fucking wheelchair.
Oh,
so
geez.
yeah.
Oh boy,
that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Also very CG.
Yeah.
Looked like they just removed everything and went full Pixar here for a couple of the shots, but
that's just the feeling I was getting. What is this?
Anytime that tension would be
Conker's
built,
Bad Fur Day.
Yeah. Anytime tension will be built, you get some shot that's just like, that's, come on.
Yeah.
I still had fun, but for the most part, a lot of it was during that first 20 minutes. That's where I find myself being like, all right, that bit hit. The rest of it, not so much. So they go back to the murder cabin. The mother, Darlene, I believe her name is, Stephanie's mother, Iris's daughter, is like, you know what? Death is going to come for me. I'm just going to hole up here. Doesn't last longer than like a minute. So anyone who goes to the murder cabin pretty much immediately dies. So RV blows up. Stephanie's left like strapped in, cannot get her seatbelt off, ends up upside down in a lake nearby. Just Death is fucking with them at this point. It's like none of this is going to be quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just going to be painful and drawn out, and that's how the rest of the movie sort of felt, painful and drawn out. But yeah, first 20 minutes for sure, check that out.
How'd you feel about the cameo by the late great Tony
Todd?
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah,
he was good. Again, doesn't really have much to do in this. Turns out that he is JB. JB, the little brat, that's him, all grown up.
How? He was a different color.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, he's JB.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's JB. He's a kid.
What?
Yeah. At least that's from what I understand in the movie.
No, he's the kid he's got to be the kid who saw his mom get burned alive. The little kid that Iris saved. Yeah, he's that. Yeah.
Oh,
see,
I completely misunderstood
like,
that.
wait, what?
I thought he was a little brat.
No, he's got to be the other kid. Yeah.
Oh
no.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck that JB kid. Yeah. That kid died.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kid still died.
All right. I completely misunderstood that.
Jesus, I didn't even see
thought
this
he was
part
a
of the movie, Tim. Yeah.
Man.
So you just thought that
Look,
they just race swapped this child mid-movie?
It happened to Michael Jackson, all right? It happens. Sometimes you wake... Ariana Grande has been 6 different races in the last 10 years.
Oh, my God.
It happens.
Oh, my God. Well...
Yeah. So...
Well, I guess, yeah.
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 Everyone gets Final Destination. Cannot escape death.
Does Tony Todd get Final Destination?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
That sucked.
he finally does.
How's he get whacked?
In real life, or...
No, I know I got in real life. Oh, my God. No.
Yeah, no, just... I don't even remember.
See?
I don't even remember.
And...
I didn't see this movie. No. I saw another movie, and that just completely took out the last, 30 minutes of Final Destination for me.
Fair enough. So maybe
yeah.
this movie wasn't all that good.
It's not.
I don't think so.
So if you like the Final Destination movies, you're going to be okay with it, I guess. This is trying to be sort of a soft reboot. They're going to try to start a new franchise based off this, but to me.
I think it's going to do it. Obviously,
Obviously,
it
made money.
Like, dude, it's going to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
There's going to be more of these.
Yeah, there's going to be.
People have an appetite, apparently, for people getting their faces canvaed over gore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yeah.
Would you think people should see it? Or maybe watch one of the other fantastic movies that are out
I'd say
now?
wait a week.
I would wait a week.
Wait a week.
Or go see Sinners, or go see Minecraft, or go see Thunderbolts, or go see The Accountant 2.
Or go see Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Actually, you know what? Go see Fight or Flight, because that thing is struggling out there, and, you know, it was a lot of fun.
Funny point about Fight or Flight. I couldn't see Fight or Flight.
I'm sure you couldn't.
It's not showing anywhere, man.
No.
It's not.
It's pretty much done.
Yeah.
It didn't make any money, and they said, yeah, we're not showing this anywhere. No one
Couldn't
wanted to
see
see that. That
Couldn't see
sucks,
it. And
dude.
I wanted to see it.
It's going to live on streaming, I feel like. When that thing comes out to fucking Hulu and Paramount and all that shit, it's going to be fine. You know? That is the perfect streaming movie. If I was just surfing Netflix and was like, I want to watch something.
Yeah.
Fight or Flight, man. Yeah, that sounds like a great way to spend an hour.
Now, would you pick that or Bullet Train?
Having seen both of them.
Yeah.
How long is Bullet Train?
2 hours.
Depending on how much time I have.
Okay.
I guess that would be it.
Yeah.
You know, like, do I have an hour and a half or do I have 2.5?
Yeah.
If I have 2.5, Bullet Train. If I have an hour and a half, Fight or Flight.
Yeah.
You know?
How long was Hurry Up Tomorrow?
Way too fucking long. Dude. Way too fucking long. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, let me get into Hurry Up Tomorrow. All right. Yeah. So I had to see Hurry Up Tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. Yeah. Yeah. I thought I was on the path to, you know, self-love and improving, and apparently not, because I had to go see that piece of shit. I had to fucking do that to myself on Friday. Man, yeah, no.
What a way to start the weekend, huh?
It was awful. Okay, so if you haven't seen my Just the Tip, Hurry Up Tomorrow is the it's not really a movie necessarily.
Yeah.
Some people are calling it a movie, but I don't know that I qualify this as a movie, man. This is like it's the visual cinematic companion to The Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow album, which according to Wikipedia, which of course is, you know,
reliable source.
the most reliable source.
source.
I know, you know, but you know, research on the fly. Apparently, that's the biggest release on Spotify of 2025, and it's the biggest.
That's sad.
Because streaming debut for The Weeknd on the platform.
I can't say I've heard any of his songs. From this album. From this album.
Right.
I can't say I've heard any of this. I didn't even know. I thought it would be releasing at the same time as the movie. When you told me that it had released months ago, I'm like, oh,
released a while ago.
News to me.
You know,
right.
And that's the thing. Like, my wife is, she's not like a huge like Weeknd fan necessarily. I don't think she's into any bands, like, you know, a giant fangirl or anything. But she, you know, has like a lot of his music like in her playlist. You know, from like the Starboy album and all that. You know, so I asked her, "What are your thoughts?" Oh, you put out a new album? You know, so you know, there's that, right? Yeah. And so then we listened to it together, and it was like, yeah, I haven't heard any of this, and I don't really enjoy it all that much. But you know, I tend not to enjoy the later albums of artists anyway,
except for Kanye.
Kanye's on some shit right now, man. Oh my god, wow, yeah, that's that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so. This apparently, again, according to Wikipedia, is something, and you know, says #1 on Billboard when it debuted. Oh, okay, great, whatever. You know, this movie ain't shit.
No,
this movie ain't shit.
No.
So it's currently sitting at a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes with a it's 53 reviews and a 70% popcorn meter. So the audiences are kind of mid on the thing too.
Yeah.
It's they're calling this a mystery thriller. That's hilarious. That's the funniest thing I've heard all week. I wish I could be that funny. And so this was 105 minutes of my life that I won't get back. Essentially, this was so there's not really a beginning, middle, or end in like a narrative sense, right? So the movie opens up and it's like, the Weeknd is performing, and his which I'm gonna spoil this thing because there's nothing like to spoil. Like it's not a story. Like it's a series of visual experiences that don't
tie
mesh
together
into an actual story, right? Like this is like if you showed somebody who had never seen a movie before, like a who's the guy who does Grand Budapest Hotel?
Wes Anderson.
Like a Wes Anderson. If you showed somebody like a Wes Anderson film who had never seen a movie before, and was just like, here's a series of vignettes that don't really tie together at all.
Yeah.
Tell me what this movie was about. It's like that, but at least those are a series of vignettes that might be a story.
Yeah.
This
There's
is
characters.
This is nothing. This is nothing. This is three people in it, essentially. So it opens up, and the Weeknd is he's on tour, and Barry Coe is, which I'm sure I'm probably pronouncing that. Keen.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So sorry if you saw my just the tip. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, he cheated on Sabrina Carpenter. He can get fucked.
Allegedly.
I don't care, man.
Allegedly.
Sabrina's my girl, bro. Like, I'll fight you, Barry. Bring your boy John Bernthal and we can get it done, dude.
Tag team. Let's go.
Hell yeah. No. Barry's like his manager.
Yeah.
And he's like having issues like performing, and they're like doing drugs, and dude, there's like nothing going on here. Like nothing happens. And Jenna Ortega is like burning down a random house that like is like, I guess it's her mom's house, or something.
Okay.
She burns down her mom's house and then like gets in a car and like steals some gas at a gas station and then like goes to a Weeknd concert. And
just a regular Friday night for me.
And like meanwhile, like the Weeknd is like seeing a doctor who's you might be having some issues with your voice and you should just take it easy. And his manager is like, nah, man, like, oh, you're not a regular human, man. Like,
oh my
just
God.
do this cocaine and it'll be fine. And
so he's an old school manager then.
Essentially, yeah. He's just like, and Barry like is having the best time of anybody in this movie. Like he spends 90% of this film dancing around doing cocaine and just having a great time.
I wonder how they got him to sign on.
You can dance around, dry hump the air, and have cocaine as much as you would like. Yeah.
He didn't even know they were rolling.
He
just thought that he was having a good time.
It kind of feels like that to a point. So yeah. So this all collides at like an maybe like an hour and change into this 105 minutes, right?
Okay.
So we're well over halfway through this movie, and the Weeknd is performing at the concert, and Jenna Ortega is there in the audience, and he like loses his voice mid-song, and they see each other, and they're looking at each other, and
it's like a fan fiction.
This is something like that.
So there's like that meme of the girl reading the book at a concert, and I don't know if it's One Direction or something. Someone spots her like reading the book, and they just fall in love. Is that it?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh God!
Yeah. Like so, but and keep in mind, this is an hour in. How much have I described of a plot? Right? Has anything happened really? No.
Dry humping and cocaine.
This is dry humping and cocaine, dude. Like, and the Weeknd crying and singing some songs and crying. And
so is he playing himself in this? Is this supposed to be?
Yeah, this is Abel Tesfaye playing Abel Tesfaye the Weeknd.
Okay. So it takes place in our reality where he's already
the Weeknd.
Okay.
Yeah, he's playing himself. It's being John Malkovich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is that why he can't act?
But he has like 7 lines in this movie too. Like that's like he does. There's not a lot of talking. Like there's some of his songs, but you don't really hear his songs in
It's
full.
him just sort
like,
of brooding.
Yeah, it's a lot of shots of him brooding or crying or listening to voicemails of a girl who's like, "I can't believe you. That if you love me, you want to do that." When, and
Yikes.
That was an hour, right?
Yeah.
So it's an hour story. Our quote unquote stories have collided right at this concert, and The Weeknd locks himself in his dressing room to cry and won't let Barry in. And they're like arguing through the door, and then he leaves. And while he's leaving, like Jenna Ortega is trying to get past security to see him, and she like runs away from security, and the security's like chasing her, and they literally collide. Of course, they're turning the corner and bump into each other. The Weeknd's like, "Nah, man, it's cool." Like, and sends
she's
security.
with me.
He literally sounds like Prince in this thing.
Yeah.
He's talking all soft and goofy, and so he they like go off, and like there's then the long sequence of them like at a carnival, just like
I thought this would all be like first half hour stuff.
No,
this was all in the trailer.
No, dude, we're 15 minutes from the end at this point.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then they spend the night together, and like it's maybe implied that they have sex or something, but not really.
But
like
soft.
Yeah, they hold hands, and then there's like some like visualizer stuff, and they like hold hands some more, and there's some visualizer stuff. It's really weird.
Well, they're not married,
This is
so
a music
they can't.
video. No, this is a music video. This is weird. It feels like a music video that you see at MTV at 2 a.m. when you were 8 years old, right? And then they wake up the next morning, and The Weeknd's like, well, I like gotta move on with my tour, and she's like, "Take me with you," and he's like, "Nah," and she's like, all like, "Well, there was something there, right?" And he's like, "Nah, you gotta stop this."
I saw that clip on Twitter. It's been going around of his acting.
Yes, of his act. That is the most he says like in one chunk at any point in the movie. That's his like acting.
Yeah.
And oh, dude, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And they even like shit on that. Like Barry's like having a thing like where he's talking to him about like how like, "Nah, dude, like you can't act. Like you tried this with the Idol and it didn't work out. Like you're not gonna be a movie star. Like just keep doing what you're doing."
Uncut Gems went right to his head. That's what it is.
Well, so then Jenna Ortega whacks The Weeknd in the head with a bottle.
Yeah.
And then he goes through this weird like dark room, back room sequence.
Okay.
And then he like sees like a girl in a dress on the ground, like, and she's like doing the creepy like holding herself thing.
Yeah.
And then she like backs up, and like it's like that's like a jump scare.
Yeah.
Which actually did jump scare me, only for the fact that I went to the restroom and I came back, and I literally walked through the door to the theater and looked up, and that was the exact moment that I looked up at the screen and was like, "Oh my god!" But then I watched it again on Twitter, and I was like, "What?" And so yeah, and then he like wakes up, and he's tied to the bed. And then Jenna Ortega listens to a couple of his songs and like dances around his hotel room, and sings along to the songs and explains them to him. And then she's like, Barry like gets in the hotel room, and she gets in a fight with him and stabs him in the neck with a piece of glass. And then she comes back to the room, and she douses The Weeknd in gasoline, and she's going to light him on fire.
Emily.
And then he starts singing a song to her, and then I guess she lets him go, and he leaves the hotel room, and they light it on fire, and they leave the hotel room, and then all of a sudden she's like gone, and he just like gets into his dressing room, and he's still like covered in gasoline.
Yeah.
And they just like dress him, and he's like, gonna play a show, and then the movie ends. The thing ends. The thing I just watched ends. That's it.
It's 15 minutes of actual movie.
That's it. Yep, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, and her name is Anima.
Anima?
Yeah, like the Jungian feminine, the irrational mind.
was thinking.
So she's all in his head. Like, this is a big Fight Club,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
But, like, what the fuck was that? I just hated that. Like, it's not a movie. I don't even have the respect for this thing to call it a movie. And you know what? This was directed by Trey Edward Schultz, who directed It Comes at Night, which is fantastic.
Really?
You know? Yeah, I
didn't like it.
Oh, I
didn't like
it. Yeah.
I felt that was mismarketed.
Oh, well, yes.
Horribly mismarketed.
Yes, it is totally mismarketed, but, like, you know what it is once you... Like,
sit it through it for an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a good time with that, but this was, what the hell was this? This was a bad experience.
Yeah.
You know, and so here's my other funny, because I can't go to the theater and just like have a regular time.
Right.
You know,
there's got to be something.
Not. There's got to be something, right? So this time I went to one of your local theaters.
Yeah. And
so, you know, I'm the only person in this show, you know, and I'm sitting there in like the handicap rope because I'm still like, for those of you who didn't see the prior episodes, I tore my meniscus like 2 weeks ago. So I'm walking with a cane. I'm doing a little bit better every day, but I'm still, you know, not great. So I'm sitting in like the handicap thing because I'm the only person there, right? And so I'm like right by the door. And this kid like rushes in there with his like broom and stuff, looks at me, and the credits like literally have just started rolling, like, and they flip the lights on, credits just start rolling. He rushes in there, and he looks at me, and like, I have my cane, and I'm like, oh hey man, sorry, it's just give me a sec, you know?
Yeah.
And he literally rolls his eyes.
Are you serious?
Like, and fucking walks out of the theater. Like, and I'm literally like, I was sitting there and I was like, whoa, what just happened? Like, you know, like I wasn't trying to be rude or anything. I'm just like, dude, I'm literally like, I walk with a cane. Like, I'm hurt. It's gonna, you know, hey man, sorry. Like, I'll, you know, just give me just a sec, you know. And he just, like, I just ruined his whole day.
Look, you chicken jockeyed all over that theater, didn't you?
I guess that's what it was, man.
6 large popcorns, and you were throwing them every time the weekend sang.
I just can't. Like, I can't catch a break, man.
You can't.
I guess not.
People hate you, man.
People hate me, man. I don't know why.
Why?
You know, if you watch the content, you know. Yeah, so I don't know why you had to be such a little rat bastard about it, but you know, yeah, it's fine.
Kids.
You know what? Kids these days. Kids these days, you know, with their damn iPhones, you know. Like, I just, you know, I don't know. Learn how to be a nice person. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Be nice, like, dude, I'm like literally like I'm in the handicap seat, bro. Like, you can't be nice to me. Like, wow.
Give me 5 seconds, man.
Wow, bro. Like, man, can you give me 5 seconds, dude?
The
like,
future is now old, man.
We literally didn't like. We did not get through the first page of the cast list before this kid is like rushing me out of my seat. What if I had to stay for the credits?
What if there was a post-credit scene?
You know,
or they set up the weekend cinematic.
Don't put that kid on a fucking Marvel movie. Oh my gosh,
be ushering people out. Yeah,
man. Whatever, it'd be fine. You know what? Maybe he had to watch the movie too, and he was just that frustrated.
Hurry
about
up,
it.
credits.
Hurry up, credits. That's what that should be renamed. Wow, what a terrible movie. Experience. What not a movie.
Not a movie.
Not a movie. It's not
terrible theater experience.
It's a terrible cinematic experience. I don't support this. HollyDudes does not endorse this product. So I want to hear about Tim's super surprise movie this week. What did Tim
got a good one.
Oh boy.
A really good one, man.
Good.
So you've had terrible luck when it comes to movies?
Yes.
I had some great luck when it came to a movie this week.
Good.
I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
What?
Yes.
What?
A week early.
How'd you see an early screening?
I don't want to get into it.
Oh, man.
I cannot get into it.
Dude.
I saw it. It's good.
What?
It's good.
Oh,
so
boy.
It's about 2 hours, 45 minutes long. So go to the bathroom before because there is a lot of talking.
Yeah, I have heard
you don't
that.
want to miss out on anything that happens. Otherwise, you will be lost. So this one picks up about 2 months after the events of Dead Reckoning Part 1. They changed the name from Dead Reckoning Part 2 to The Final Reckoning. Don't know why. Sort of negates the whole Part 1. But hey, we pick up 2 months later. Ethan's got longer hair. Luther's been working on a cure to the entity. Ethan and his team of IMF agents meet up in London to sort of go over a plan on how they're going to stop this and stop Gabriel, who wants to control the entity and use it to take over the world.
I remember the last movie. I was very excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
This one.
Oh,
the last one I was sort of iffy on, a little bit let down just based on the fact that it felt like mostly exposition and setting up, and there was no real payoff. This one, still a lot of exposition. Ethan has to convince everyone to trust him. Sort of blow up the Kremlin and steal a knock list and have the career that Ethan Hunt has had. You're going to need to do a lot of convincing. So thankfully he gets some good people on his side. I don't want to get into spoilers, but
this will be the non-spoiler review in this episode.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Non-spoiler.
I have not seen it yet. Oh man. So this could be this kind of leads me into one of the things I want to talk about for this coming week. You know, maybe a return to Just the Tip for Tim.
Yeah.
I know Tom Cruise is your man. I would love
You're getting
to see
Just
you
the
do
Tip today.
Just the Tip for Mission Impossible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah. Awesome.
So,
wow.
Everyone going to see Mission Impossible, it's kind of like Final Destination. You know what you're getting yourself into, right? When you're buying the ticket to Mission Impossible, you're doing it to see Tom Cruise do insane stunts.
Yes. I would say, though, that I recently did a rewatch of the entire series.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of really want to do that again. I'm going to talk to Allison if she's down for that, but I would like to maybe at the very least watch the last few of them.
Yeah.
Just to catch up fully, going into Final Reckoning, because man, super excited.
It's so good.
But I would say if you are watching these movies, yes, that is totally correct. I'm watching this for the stunts and the stunts and stunts until you get to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Okay.
And it becomes, oh my God, I'm watching a real live movie with a whole, a real villain who's compelling. He's terrifying in that movie.
He's really good.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
He's really good.
One of my favorite villains of all time.
So the third one, Mission Impossible 3, sort of breathed new life into it. Mission Impossible 2 was a little over the top. The doves and all that.
Yes, is that the anime hair one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he's rock climbing.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Sunglasses.
Playing Ico. Yeah. Throwback to Rayman days, but hey, exploding sunglasses. This is a little less over the top than exploding sunglasses.
Okay.
You're going to have two...
I would take exploding sunglasses after watching Exploding Face.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Or Exploding Weekend.
God, I hate that movie.
Set him off.
God, it was awful. God.
So two major set pieces for action. There's a lot of ancillary action going on at the same time. But 2 hours, about 45 minutes. So
wow.
It's up there. Yeah. The last main sequence, they showed a little bit of it in the trailer. Without spoiling anything, it takes place on these old biplanes, these 100-year-old planes that are, dude, the whole time I'm like, oh my God, it's insane. You gotta see this in theaters.
Yeah,
gotta see it in theaters.
I can't remember who I was watching. There was an interview that I saw. Somebody was getting interviewed and they were talking, it was Matt Damon.
Yeah.
You seen the Matt Damon interview where he's talking about his Tom Cruise?
No.
It's oh yeah, I got the opportunity to meet Tom Cruise, and he's talking to him, and he talks to you like you're the only person in the world, right? And he was telling him about a stunt, and Matt Damon said, "How did you get to do this, right?" And Tom Cruise gave him all the details about it, and was very into this conversation and was telling him, and so I went to my stunt choreographer and I gave him the whole plan, exactly what I'm gonna do, right? And my safety guy said, no, you can't do that, So then I got another safety guy. Oh man, like I've said before,
I don't know how the insurance would have covered the stunts that he was doing it towards the end of the movie. I'm like, there's no way anyone.
I don't think any insurance company's covering him for any of that crap.
Yeah, after seeing all the CGI in Final Destination and then this, I'm like, that is not CGI. That is insane.
His team does the research to find a specific insurance broker who is a huge fan of Tom Cruise, right? It's like, me. Listen, man, do you want to see this stunt happen in my next movie? Then you have to give me insurance for it. Man.
Whatever they did, it worked.
Excellent. It worked. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see your video on it. I am, man, so excited.
I had a blast.
So excited.
It was fun.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I know
you weren't.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I'll probably be seeing it again next weekend, maybe. I don't know if I have a spare 3 hours.
A spare 3 hours. There is that. And you're gonna have to see Lilo and Stitch too.
Yeah. And the last rodeo.
And you gotta win that F-150. So
someone will.
Someone will. Someone will. Probably won't be me. I never win shit. You got to tell my mom about that one. She always wins the raffle.
Okay.
I'll have to send my mom to the last rodeo.
Yeah.
Come over with the truck, Mom.
Have her buy some tickets.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah. That. Oh man, a bit of good news.
Yeah.
After two absolute horror.
That's why I forgot everything that happened in Final Destination aside from the opening. I'm like, oh my God, there's so much to remember that happened in this movie. It's 3 hours, then it's exposition and action, and yeah.
Excellent.
The performances are great. Standout for me was Palm Clementif, who plays Mantis in the MCU movies. Avid skydiver as well. So
she's back in this.
Yeah, she's back in this. Paris is her character's name. So yeah,
good.
Yeah,
hell
great performance by her. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it.
Movies are back.
Movies are back.
Movies are
Movies
back.
are back. Yes. Yes. Oh man, I was about to say everything was dead after Hurry Up Tomorrow. Oh man.
Gotta end it on a high note.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah. You want to move on to our next segment here?
Let's do it.
Fantastic. So we're 10 episodes into the HDS podcast. If you've stuck with us for all 10 episodes, you are incredibly appreciated. And if you have watched all 10 episodes, leave a comment.
Yeah.
We would love to see that.
Let us know what we could be doing better.
Absolutely.
Or what we could be doing worse.
Tell us what you've enjoyed about the show, what we need to do better, and how we can keep improving week to week for you guys. That is, of course, the goal, trying to make this show a little bit better, a little bit more enjoyable every week. And eventually, we're going to be on I don't know. I don't even have cable anymore. What's the big E? Yeah. Yeah. We're going to show on E.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Which actually brings me back to the thing I wanted to say about Hurry Up Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching this movie. And I'm like, Abel Tesfaye, The Weeknd. I've never regarded him as like an incredibly attractive man. I don't see what women see here. But I'm looking at him and I'm like, I know where I've seen you before. It's the male reincarnation of Joan Rivers after all that plastic surgery.
Oh, no. It just melted the wax and stuck it onto him.
I was like, wait a minute. I've seen you before. I believe everyone's just a copy in the Matrix, and you're the black male Joan Rivers. I've seen you before.
Why?
But yeah, so yeah, there's that, right?
Yeah.
Just thank you for mentioning E, because that reminded me of that show.
Joan Rivers.
The black male Joan Rivers, absolutely. Well, yeah, less talented though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 10 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am incredibly grateful to have made it 10 episodes, right?
Yeah, same.
This has been really cool. For me, like it's awesome to get to see the views come in, right, and get to interact with people, and that's great. It's also cool for me on like kind of a personal level, right?
Yeah.
Because I get to work with
Hang
my
out
best
with my
friend
buddy.
every week. It's great, and we get to collaborate on this thing. And I've said it before that like the best job I ever had was working with you.
Yeah.
And so now I get to do this for fun every week, and hopefully one day it's a full-time job. But
right.
Hey, that's the long-term goal. Right now we're 10 weeks.
We're in it for fun.
Exactly.
We're in it
having
for
a
fun.
Good time.
Yeah. Hope you guys are having fun too. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just I wanted to say hey, thanks for doing 10 episodes of this stuff with me, and let's keep growing the channel. It'll be great.
Yeah. When you originally pitched the idea to me, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. I didn't really take any convincing. I was like,
hey, you see movies, I see movies. Let's talk about them.
You remember how we used to go to the movies like every week?
Every week.
Yeah. What if we
Let's
did it
do
again?
That.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And it's been great, man. All the wacky, ridiculous, and incredible experiences that I've had in 10 weeks so far going to a theater.
What was the first week that we did? Which movies came out?
The first movie that I reviewed
was it Mickey 17?
The first movie I reviewed was Black Bag.
That's right.
And I took a video on my phone. And it's 30 seconds long. It's a single take outside of the AMC Showplace 14 in New Orleans. Yeah. And the wind is howling behind me. There's cars going by, right? And what really brought the fact that I really want to talk about this today is I was like, I made this video and I got in bed after editing, and I flip on the TV, and there's an ad on my Roku TV for Novocaine streaming for free. I think it was like on Paramount or Peacock or something, and so then I was like, holy shit, like the second video that's the second video on our channel. The second just the tip that I did was Novocaine, where I'm sitting at this computer, and again it's a 30-second single take, and I'm just clicking through some stuff, and I'm like looking at my notes, and fumbling through all that, and then looking at the
recording over and over and over again. I have so many cuts where when I was trying to do the one takes for the Electric State, that took like an hour to film 30 seconds because it just kept coming. Magazine Dreams, about the same. I just had to keep recording because I'd get all the way to the end and then just be like and subscribe. Forget where I was going,
We knew absolutely nothing 10 weeks ago, and we still know relatively
absolutely nothing.
But just to and I'm sure, like, obviously I watch YouTube all the time, so I know that like the content that we produce is still like beginner grade, right? But it's so cool to just see over 10 weeks like how far this has come. Like we've learned a lot of stuff, and every week we learn more stuff. We get better at this, and we come up with new ideas and new jokes, and so that's cool, and this has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad I broached this idea to you, and I just wish we would have started this 8 years ago.
10 years, 10 years ago.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, dude, if we would have started this when we met in 2016, like that would have been, killer. How much we would know by now, right?
How much I would have spent on camera gear?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Right. Yeah. No, but hey, it's fine. We're learning. Now we're older and smarter or something, and we're gonna be better. I don't know. Yeah. Something like that. It's fine. Yeah. But if you've been here for 10 episodes, please let us know in the comments, what do you think? Right? Thank you for being here. We really appreciate that. All the support is awesome.
Yeah.
So, send this to your friends, all that sort of stuff we usually say, but really just, hey, thank you for watching.
We wouldn't bother uploading if it weren't for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like we would just meet up and talk about it, but some people find that interesting. So
people watch this stuff, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to keep doing this, watching it grow, and we hope to keep doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
So I was watching a creator today who had 7,600 videos, and I was like,
oh,
yeah,
wow,
one day. One day, you know how many movies? But I do have a lot of plans for the channel and for HollyDudes as a brand. Going forward, I think we are going to expand into some other platforms. Once that happens, I will certainly post all of that to the YouTube. YouTube is like my home.
That's the hub. That we will have the links to all the different tendrils.
This is totally like, if you're going to leave a comment on something, this is probably the best way to reach me. Absolutely. Because I'm here all the time. Right. I love it. So, we're growing, we're learning, we're going to do lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Can't wait for you guys to join us.
Hell yeah. Another 10 episodes in, but, So, what'd you do this week? Anything other than see the best movie of all time?
The best movie of all time? No, not the best movie of all time, but other than that, I just worked. Nothing exciting. Haven't been able to go skydiving due to the weather and whatnot.
It has been ridiculously windy. Yes, we had a dust bowl. I got to drive through that, which
that must have been fun.
Honestly, like, everybody, when I say that, everybody's like, oh, and it's okay. So here's the thing. I used to have a job that required me to drive cross country, like, on a regular basis. I was gone. I was everywhere, man. And so I've seen a lot of the United States, been all over the place, right? And like, I actually have, and I like to travel just because, like, I love to drive. I just like to go places, So I have been in, like, actual real live dust storms in like eastern Colorado and like
Oklahoma,
Nebraska, West Kansas, right? Like, when those were a thing, right? Where my car is literally like, and at the time I had like a little Mazda. When the specific storm that I'm recalling, that was probably the worst one. This one was in between West Kansas and eastern Colorado, and there's like semis getting flipped over. There's tumbleweeds crashing into my car. I literally, I pulled over to a gas station at one point, and like, I had to pick out these big tumbleweeds out of my grill and out of my wheel wells and shit. It was all over the place, man. So, like, that, when I think of a dust storm, I'm like, yeah, that was the thing. That sucked. And especially if I was in my giant sailboat of a truck, going through that, I could see where that would suck. But this thing, like, I closed my windows, I turned my AC to recirc, and it was fine. It was fine. And it was kind of cool because where I was at in this dust storm, like, the sun kind of came through, and it was weird because I had all this visibility around me, like a couple 100 yards in each direction, but then the way the sun was shining, it was like a concrete wall. Like, the way this light would hit this dusk, like, it was just, I've like had this dome that was just driving around me, and so that was kind of cool. But it was fine. It was fine. It looks great on the news. It made for some really cool shots of the news, and I'm sure those people in the city were like, "Oh my god," right? But
gonna start naming their burgers after them.
Right. It's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be like that stupid crocodile that was in the lake a few years ago. It was fine, guys. I promise it's gonna be okay. If you want to see a real one, like, go out in the desert for a little bit. You'll see one, and it won't be anywhere near as fun as that was. That made for cool shots. Those actual dust storms, like, cause harm and are dangerous, and I'm like sure, like, actually cost lives, and so that's like, that shit's no joke. This stuff was nothing. It's gonna be okay, I promise. It's gonna be okay. It's not the grapes of wrath yet. We're gonna be all right.
It's not grapes of wrathing outside.
No.
It's not dusting sideways.
Yeah.
Dusting cats and dogs.
No, it's gonna be okay, I promise. But that was fun. Yeah.
What else you do this week?
I'm recovering from the knee thing.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm on a cane, which is way better than crutches. That's fantastic. A couple more weeks of that. Hopefully I'm healed up, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
It's coming along. I worked. I saw a bunch of crap movies, and that's pretty much it. I been playing around trying to learn how to use this computers more, and playing around with the audio and the editing and stuff, and hell yeah, prepping for episode 10.
Yeah, episode 11.
Episode 11.
Episode 11 coming
is
out.
going to be big.
Yeah.
I'm going to be excited.
Yeah.
Because there will be good movies to talk about.
And I can get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Without getting sued by Paramount.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, yeah, man. So, yeah. Well, that was episode 10.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought about it in the comments. Yeah. As always, like, subscribe, share to your friends, all that sort of good stuff. We appreciate the engagement. And, I guess we'll see you next time.
Later.